Welcome back to another video. Today we are in the Halloween Cup and we want to be featuring the Azumarill team paired with the Charjabug. This core right here is pretty decent, and we're also going to finish it off with the Dragalge. So here we have the Cofagrigus in the front here. This is kind of a neutral matchup here. We're going to stay in. We do outbulk it. We tank the Shadow Ball, and our opponent ends up switching to the Azumarill here. So this Azumarill here is going to be matched up against our own Charjabug eventually. And then we're going to tank this first move, I believe. Let's see what they are running. Hydro Pump. Interesting moveset right there. We are able to survive that Hydro Pump, which is great. And then we're going to be able to throw this Discharge here. They shield here, and then we're going to be able to get to another Discharge. Are they willing to go down 2 shields? It looks like they are. Okay, maybe not. That was an interesting shield then. So they come back in with the Cofagrigus. We're going to come back in with our own Azumarill. This Azumarill here has an option to shield or not. We decide to shield. They switch out. We switch into the Dragalge. And this is generally pretty good for us, as the Dragon Tails will be doing most of the damage. This Dragalge is running Outrage, but there is consideration for the Gunk Shot version as well, depending on what you're seeing. Just right now we're running the Outrage, and it looks like we are able to farm it down. We're going to be able to get to this Aqua Tail here to chip it away or get this shield, and then we're looking to get to another move, and then we're going to switch out. We do catch something here. It ends up being the Shadow Ball. We survive the Shadow Ball, and then we actually are able to get to another move here for the little bit of a chip, and then we're able to get to another Aqua Tail that we saved earlier. So this is GG's. This is the Cofagrigus double water team. So we had a little inkling on what to expect, but kind of surprising that they caught our move with the Azumarill and not with the Toxapex. So we'll see what happens next. Here we have the Wigglytuff, and then they switch into their Toxicroak. So this Toxicroak here is going to be able to get to a move. We're going to tank this Sludge Bomb, save that move, and then switch into the Charjabug. Now that we know that this Toxicroak is low energy, but now they're gonna be able to throw this Mud Bomb. So we are able to survive that Mud Bomb. We're gonna go for this Discharge here to take out that Toxicroak to maintain alignment. So what would they pair a Wigglytuff and a Toxicroak with? I haven't seen this combination in ever. So we are probably gonna come back in with the Azumarill here. We're gonna throw a Ice Beam. Let's see how badly they want to keep this. So they do want to keep this Wigglytuff fairly healthy. They decide to switch out into the Golbat here. This Golbat potentially could be throwing Shadow Ball. Are they going to go for it? They do go for it, and unfortunately for us, that is not good news. We tried to call the bait right there. We guessed wrong, and they're going to be able to get to this. We're going to be able to get to an Aqua Tail here, but they're going to be able to farm us down, and okay, and it looks like they're going to be able to throw Poison Fangs back at this Azumarill. So we needed to shield that Golbat right there. I guess even if they baited, we should have been using our shields more wisely right there. And unfortunately for us, they're able to come back in with the Wigglytuff and take us out right there. So GG's to our opponent right there. I haven't seen that combination that often there. Ends up being the double poison in the back, so makes sense. Next team, let's see what we're going to face here. We have the Palossand here. This Palossand here we are familiar with, as we are doing super effective fast moves here. We can comfortably tank any move here. It ends up being the Shadow Ball, which is okay. Nice catch by my opponent right there. They are able to catch a Ice Beam. And we do some chip damage, and then we do a switch into our Dragalge. We can tank any move from this Charjabug right here. This is pretty much just a farm down situation. They go for the X-Scissor, which tells us that they're running the Discharge and X-Scissor moveset. We don't have to worry about a crunch here, and this is a full farm down. We know that we can throw a ton of moves here at this Dragalge. We go for the Outrage Nuke, and let's see if they actually shield it or not. Nope. Boom! There goes the Dragalge, and that was the winning play. Unfortunately for them, it is tricky whether these Dragalges are running Gunk Shot or Outrage these days. In this situation, it was beneficial to run the Outrage, especially since they had their own Dragalge. And this puts us in a better situation. We're going to be able to shield this Scorching Sand, get to another Ice Beam here. This is going to force the last shield, or maybe they just give up. Nope, they actually decide to shield. We're going to be able to get to another Ice Beam here for the KO. So pretty lucky. The Dragalge came in clutch. We had a ton of energy. They were expecting us to run Gunk Shot. That's why they no shielded properly. And we actually flipped that situation really well. Next game, let's see what we find here. We have the Azumarill versus the Mandibuzz. Great matchup here. They switch into a Shadow Mawa. We don't necessarily have anything too good against this thing. So we're going to stay in. We're going to tank this Iron Head. And in my mind here, we're going to be throwing the Play Roughs and using the Charjabug for that Mandibuzz in the back later. Our opponent here is going to be throwing another move. We're going to have to shield here. Ends up being the Play Rough. So they're running the Play Rough Iron Head combination. Good to know now. Now we can go for these Ice Beams. These Ice Beams, even though resisted, we'll still do a chunk. And then we're going to be able to shield here because we think that we're going to be able to get to another Ice Beam here. Or we're just going to go for the Play Rough because we think that we just need to get to one more move. Play Rough does take it out. And our opponent ends up switching to Toxic Peck. We switch into our Dragalge. They have their Mandibuzz come back in. And so we tank the Dark Pulse right there. There's no move timing, so we just throw as soon as we have Outrage. And here, we're going to pressure them to use some energy. Okay, it looks like we're going to force them to use some energy here. Ends up being the Dark Pulse. We're going to come back in with the Charjabug, try to farm it down. Unfortunately, they are left with a sliver of health. So we take an Aerial Ace, and the only positive is we were able to get a head start in energy, so we're going to get to this Discharge. This Discharge does about, I don't know, 20%. And we're trying to catch a move. We do catch something, and that is huge because they're running out of energy. They decide to undercharge right there. Try to recoup some of that energy loss, but we already added Discharge here, so this will be able to KO, I believe, from this range. Yes, and so that's GG's right there. Only way we win that is we catch a move, and we were able to snipe that energy for the game. Next game here, let's see who we find. Pika GRN. We're going to be running to a Galarian Slowking. We're going to get out of this situation. We don't like that situation. Ends up being the Dragalge here. This Dragalge is going to be able to dominate our Charjabug as we don't have Crunch on this version. Charjabug has also been flipping back and forth using the Discharge or Crunch version. So here, we're just going to do chip damage and get out of here. Not bad for throwing a lot of resistant moves. It was roughly in the 25% health mark. We know that we can survive this Gunk Shot, so we're just going to tank it, and then we're going to switch out into the Dragalge. We're hoping Dragalge will be able to clutch at the end, and unfortunately, they have another dragon. In fact, a better dragon. Guzzlord is able to farm us down. We're not going to be able to throw enough moves to win this game, so we're just going to allow this to go down. So, leaving shields on the board. But honestly, that team was kind of difficult to deal with. So check out this team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.